Welcome to State Farm Poster for the highlights. And there's been a lot of upsets so far here. Let's start with Detroit hosting Minnesota.
All right, J.J. McCarthy returns after missing 5 games with an ankle injury. A big day today. 2 touchdown passes. Beautiful catch here by Jefferson, who had 6 for 47 yards on the day. That's a 10-yarder. We're tied at 7-all, and then McCarthy keeps it, takes him from 9 yards out. Nice job by him. Everybody drops off, and he takes it. There you go, Minnesota on the road. 27-24 over division rival Detroit Lions.
Yeah, Minnesota gets back to 500. What a day for McCarthy. He missed those 5 games, comes back, throws 2 touchdown passes, and gets a conversation with another former Michigan quarterback, Tom Brady, as the LFG
player of the game. J.J. McCarthy. Great performance by you guys coming on the road. What is it about the state of Michigan where you're able to come in here and perform like the way you do?
You know, it's a great state, and there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears shed in this state. Yeah. And, you know, it's always great seeing the old fans and the old relationships that you kind of continue along the way. And, you know, it's just a great atmosphere. The crowd was electric, and we definitely fed off that tonight.
Yeah, they sure were. You guys did so many things to kind of stunt their momentum in special teams. But how did you feel missing the last 5 games, coming out here? How did you find your rhythm here early in the first half? I thought it was a great first half you played.
I really appreciate it. It was all about just, you know, focusing on the little things, focusing on the things I can control. The procedure in and out of the huddle, the procedure at the line of scrimmage. How's my footwork? How's the decision-making, the ball security? All those little things just prevent all the anxiety and nerves, because I just get to go out there and focus on, you know, the things I can control and, you know, see what happens at the end of this thing, and turned out our way.
Yeah, you did a great job in the last throw of the game-sealing first down to Naylor on the sideline. Just talk me through that throw and the decision to make such a great throw.
I saw Speedy was one-on-one, and it was a matter of time for him to get that moment, and I knew he was ready for it, so I just popped it up for him and let him do the rest. The offensive line did a tremendous job blocking, and Coach O'Connell called a great play. So just tremendous, you know, respect and honored that he trusted me in that moment, and we got it done. So, yeah, it was great.
Great job. You guys are back to 500, resets the whole division. Congratulations. Enjoy the flight home.
Thank you so much, Tom. Appreciate it.
There you go.
He took more than just a way to play from Tom Brady. Your impression of not only the way McCarthy played, but the offensive game plan, knowing he was coming back from injury.
Well, first of all, very impressed because he had not played well prior to his injury, then laying off 5 weeks and watching Wentz play, and then basically being forced back in, maybe early. I doubt it, though, but I was very impressed today. He showed a lot of poise. I always tell Howie, I always look at their footwork. You heard him talk about the little things. Those are the things you look at. Their happy feet. You're not comfortable in the pocket. You're not trusting people around them. And I thought today, very calm. I thought getting him out of the pocket was smart. Tried to run the football, but the big catch by Jefferson, the one-hander, and start the game off, that'll settle a young quarterback down.
Much smoother than I think he's ever looked, really. In special teams, you know, Tom talked about the job they did in special teams. Their defense, Brian Flores brought the pressure, and it was a lot of
it was coming.
Those linebacker X kind of stunts in the middle. They brought pressure. They were never really comfortable. He was never really comfortable. They got 5 sacks today. I think that was big. I think the offensive line played better. Were they great? No, they gave up 5 sacks, but.
Yeah, I think J.J. McCarthy, once again, that last 4-minute drive, that's a tough drive. And just to reiterate to people, it's so hard when you're in the developmental process of your career, and to miss five weeks. Those guys aren't coming. He's not coming back playing week 2 guys. He's playing mid-season form guys, and he hasn't had any reps with the offense. That was a really impressive game by J.J. McCarthy. I was really impressed.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the stat line, it's not like it jumps off the chart, but he made the throws he needed to make, made the plays he needed to make, ran when he needed to run. The running game was over 100 yards of rushing, so that really helped. And I got to say, for a young guy to step up, it really was impressive to watch him, because you know you're going to Detroit. It's a tough place to play. Big division game against a team that's one of the hottest teams in the league, one of the hottest defenses in the league. He did get sacked 5 times, but they got 5 sacks to kind of balance this stuff out. But he had such incredible composure for a young guy on the road in such a big game.
And the key you said was when they needed to make a big play, he made it. And then your quarterback, you want to say, oh, my God can make the play when I need it. And that's huge. That pass, that last pass, that thing of beauty.
All right, so Minnesota wins in Detroit. The NFC North got very interesting today because of what happened to the leader, Green Bay, as they were home taking on the Carolina Panthers. Talk about making plays when you need to.
All right, Tucker Kraft tied in, helped off in the third quarter with a leg injury. Under ball Hammond up inside. Josh Jacobs goes for a 1-yard score. We're tied up at 13-all. I don't think any of us realized we'd see a 13-all game. But with 1 second left, and Ryan Fitzgerald nails the 49-yard field goal. And Carolina on the road with Dowdle, the running back, getting 130 yards rushing on 25 carries. Carolina in the stunner. Definitely a stunner, 16-13. I don't care who you are. I did not see that happen.
Green Bay favored by 13.5 going in. They wound up losing. And this Carolina team, they started out 0-2. Suddenly, they're 5-4. It's kind of turned the corner right here. But, you know, Howie, when you start to look at this, I think most people are going to see Green Bay just missed an opportunity today in most people's mind.
Yeah, in most people's minds, but as you mentioned, you know, Carolina's been kind of, you know, number one, they made the decision. Look, our number one back is Dowdle. You know, I mean, and they were trying to pay homage to a guy who was the guy last year, got injured, and Dowdle steps in, and he's just dominant. He's been dominant every week. I think you have to feed him. I think, you know, Green Bay was perplexing today. Love was, I think he was cavalier at times with his throws. They seem kind of, you know, just flatline a little bit.
Well, I don't know what. Yeah. It was kind of like they came into the game and said, you know, like we were saying pregame show, which I knew I should have picked Carolina. But
and you talked to me about it. I knew you were close.
No, but they were seriously. Just be quiet, Howard. Philly, you're playing Philly next week. These guys are looking at Carolina and go, oh, yeah, they won 5 or 4 games in a row. And it was Carolina.
Got them at home.
Oh, we got them at home. Yeah. No way they're going to come in here and beat us. Next thing you know, you're getting punched in the mouth, and you don't know how to all of a sudden pick it up. And it's not that easy. We see it all the time in the NFL, where teams get out there and they think, oh, it's just going to happen. And then when it's not happening, you think you're just going to pick it up. Jordan Love just could never get any rhythm, couldn't get himself going.
That throw.
I don't know. The good thing that that's why he's a DB, because if he could catch, he'd have been a receiver.
Carolina's D's playing.
Carolina D is playing. Carolina's team is playing better. The run game is a catalyst for everything. I mean, Bryce Young threw for 102 yards. If you were to look at that, you would think, no way a team's going to win on the road. But that D in the running game was pretty incredible.
Let me ask you, do you care that he threw for 102 yards? They win.
No, they win. Who cares? Jules, someone says, well, they're overlooking it. You know, you got to take everybody serious, and that's about as good of an example as that coach is going to be able to use.
1,000%. They're going to be able to get coached this week. And going back to them being the young team, I feel like I've heard that for the last 4 or 5 years. They got to start growing up, because you look at their other loss, they lose against Cleveland. They were 8.5 point favors in that game.
Interception at the end of the game,
So like they gotta grow up, and they gotta grow up fast. And another bad thing, they lose Tucker Kraft. That could be a big loss going into the rest of the season. We'll see where it goes from there. But
well, here's the thing too. Detroit lost.
Yes.
And that's huge in the division. They had a chance there to win.
You're right about that, the whole young team thing. Because pretty soon you wake up, like all of us woke up one day and we were old men.
Yeah. We're not that young.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not that young.
I'm young.
And not at heart. So
where you going with this,
what
Mike?
I'm saying is, you wake up one day and all of a sudden you're the older team in the
window
league,
is closed.
And your window has closed. So they need to take advantage of where you have all these young, talented players. You got to get it together. You have to have somebody who's a leader to remind guys, no matter what, we show up with a certain level, certain standard, and we do not deviate from that.
Howard kept saying flatline. He's too calm. I like to feel more out of my quarterback.
I like calm, but I want to see some. I want to see some dog. I want to see some dog in that.
You look at the NFC North standings. Three of the 4 teams have 5 wins.
Yeah.
The other one, Minnesota, they've tried to make it 6 straight wins.
D.J. Stroud, fine young quarterback for the Houston Texans, leads this game. Had to go into concussion protocol. Then Bo Nix finally gets it going. down the right side, finds Harvey. R.J. Harvey with a 27-yard touchdown. They would get the two-point conversion. We're tied at 15 all. Then with 3 seconds left, Will Lutz nails his 34-yard field goal, and the Cardiac Kids, that's what we should call them, Denver Broncos on the road 18-15 over the Houston Texans.
Yeah, the Broncos are 4-0 on the season when trailing going into the fourth quarter. They pull out another one. Their quarterback with Allison Williams.
Bo, congratulations. This team finds a way yet again. You're no stranger to
quarterback in the league.
to wild finishes and fourth quarter comebacks. What did this game require?
Well, all three phases of the game and all four quarters. So we're excited. We just find ways to win. Our defense played great again. And offensively, we wasn't pretty the whole game, but we found a way to score more points.
When you get the ball back with 50 seconds left in a tie game, what's going through your mind?
Just get in field goal range or score. We knew Will's range, and we just had to get far enough down the field against a good defense with limited time, and I thought we did a good job managing that situation. We had a couple key third downs, and then just got it on our legs, so it was good.
This team has now won 6 in a row, and again, finding a way in the fourth quarter. What is it about the makeup of this Broncos team that allows you to win these close games?
Well, I think we just got a lot of character. We got a lot of competitive guys. We don't ever feel like we're out, and we were down majority of the game today, and we just kept clawing, kept fighting. Our defense kept getting us the ball back. We played a little bit of a field position game there at the end, and we made enough plays to get the field goal at the end. So it just, like I said, takes all three of our phases lately, and defense played great today, and like I said, we just did enough.
Thanks, Bo. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
It's an amusement ride at Disney World. I mean, my gosh. It's a late game heroics for them. Bo Nix, there was some good, there was some bad. Certainly the two-point conversion was big. The Harvey throw was big. Some of the runs were big. The pick was, he's so up and down, and some of the movement throws were off. That was a key, but their defense played well. Rarely do you survive a game in Houston with that defense turning the ball over twice.
1,000%. You got to say one thing about Houston. They made it tough on them.
Oh.
And that secondary, there was like 4 or 5 balls that Bo Nix threw where you just saw a defender